Compass FM and the Mega Music Breakfast in the studio this morning. Dan Gordon, we got you on the phone last weekend, Dan. You're looking good and feeling fine. You got a big meeting on today.
Yeah, we've got a series of council meetings today, but we've got one with a Zoom call with Three Waters, with Alan Pragnell from Department of Internal Affairs. So we've put a series of questions to Alan, about 28 questions, and we would like some answers to those. We're about to go out to our community in the coming weeks to seek their opinion. We've got to let Department of Internal Affairs and the government know by the end of September what our position would be around Three Waters reform. Can't do that without asking our public what they think.
Absolutely. So those questions are going to be asked to come along and talk about it. At the end of September, will you be in a position to tell the government what you think?
I hope so. We've set a meeting. Look, I could give the government an opinion right now.
I was going to say it, but I thought, no.
Because the councillors and I certainly have a position, but I actually want to make sure that is what our community thinks. Look, growing out in the community, I hear people stop me all the time really concerned about these reforms and don't want the government involved in that, in management of that on our behalf. They think that our councilling community is capable of doing it, and I totally agree. We've got amazing staff. We're in a really strong position. I'm not going to say that every council throughout the country is the same as us, but we've worked really hard, and I don't want to see, personally, I'm not seeing the case for reform that will benefit our community apart from our ratepayers subsidising other communities, and frankly, I just don't think that's right.
28 points that you want answered, or 28 questions you want answered.
28 points. There's several bullet points under some of those.
Okay, all right.
If I'm fair, there's probably more than 28 questions, but want some answers to those, particularly around the points around 45% efficiency. The other is around this grossly misleading advertising campaign the government's got out there indicating that we're going to have cleaner rivers and that. Well, I didn't realise that the rivers were actually part of this.
Were the rivers not part of this?
No. Not.
Okay.
Well, not that I'm aware. So that's a question I've got today: is this campaign that they've got out there? Where do the rivers feature in this? Because it features a fairly major part of their advertising campaign.
Okay, I actually caught up with one of those ads. In fact, I don't know whether there's more than one, but I saw one the other day.
I think there's two.
Is there two? Okay. Yeah.
They dumped the first one because everyone complained about it. Now they've got one that's slightly less misleading.
Yeah. Oh, the guy sitting in the bathtub.
I'm sorry, did I express a private opinion?
Yeah, you may have done there, Dan. But the guy sitting in a bathtub with mud coming out of the plug hole, that's one that I saw.
To be frank, that is really, I find that offensive because no council in this country has water supplies that are like that. And to paint us in that picture, I find just really unfortunate. This whole exercise started off as a supposedly collaborative partnership. It's not.
Let's stop the animation as far as government messages are concerned, or electioning, because those dancing Cossacks, a cartoon back in the day, that certainly turned a few people's heads as well.
Well, it's got someone said something to me the other day about the dancing Cossacks. I'm not old enough to remember that, but I have seen that. I was born in 75, so that was the 75 election, but I have seen that advertising.
Yeah, well, it was a 75. That's when I realised that I became politically aware. I remember the dancing Cossacks. But that's another story.
Highly effective. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, are we running out of room for building consents here in Waimakariri?
No, we're not. But we presently certainly have a consented land shortage. So we're working on that as a partnership, Greater Christchurch partnership at the moment. How we can free up more lands. Look at our spatial planning. Is it adequate? Are our current boundaries right? So we're working on that at the moment. We're about to go out to our community with our district plan in the not too distant next couple of months, which also will talk about future development opportunities, and that's a really important document. So when that does, look, I'll talk about that a bit more at another time, but all those things are in play at the moment. But no, you can't buy a section easily at the moment. I certainly appreciate that, and we're working with all the levers that we can to try and get that sorted.
Pushing all the levers, pushing and pulling. Hey, the Air Force cadets, now hang on, I need to get what is the correct name for the Air Force?
They're the Rangiora ATC squadron, so
That's it.
number 88.
That's it.
Number
Right.
88
Okay.
squadron.
Now you just came in and very officially sat down on the chair and says they want to change their name.
They do.
Well, why would they change their name?
Well, they record themselves currently as Rangiora. More accurately, it's Waimakariri. They have cadets that come from all throughout our district, and so they asked me if I would agree to that as mayor, and I said, well, that's something I'm happy to put to the council, so that's coming to the council today. Be very surprised if that doesn't get approved.
Yeah.
They do an amazing job. They've got something over 60 cadets, and so if as part of that they'll do if that's agreed, then they'll do a march through and be presented to our council at some point, and then be recognised and chartered as Waimakariri. And I've got staff at the moment preparing something that we can present them at the time that recognises that. I think that's a really exciting point in their development. They're based at our airfield.
Yes.
They've done a huge amount of work to fundraise and get themselves in this position. It's a real credit to Tanya, Buzz, and all the team that support them.
Brilliant stuff. Look, it's just another day in the life of the mayor of the Waimakariri District, isn't it, Dan?
Well, day in the life of our council. We've got a fantastic council. I've got a great team that I'm privileged to be the leader of.
Yes, you do have a wonderful council, and every single one of them, along with yourself and one or two other.
You're too kind.
Is it VOPs? Various other people are going to be at the Main Power Stadium opening this Sunday. You'll be getting out the scissors and cutting the ribbon.
Yeah, getting them sharpened at the moment. But I'm going to be jointly cutting that with the chair of the North Canterbury Sport and Recreation Trust, it's Don Robertson. But the councillors and I are really proud of our new stadium, and we are making it an open day to our community to come down and share in that, because it's actually an asset that we've all worked hard for, and something that we're looking to share with we'll open the doors on Sunday, and I know our community are going to be wowed as soon as they walk in there.
Do you think that one of the games that they're going to be playing down at the Main Power Stadium on Sunday is dodgeball? And
it?
I don't know. I'm just wondering. Would you?
I'd be good at trying to. Well, my size, I'm not very good at dodging, but I'll certainly try.
Give it a go.
I was down there a couple of weeks ago, and they had the basketball hoops there. They had them lowered down. That was a perfect height for me to get it in, I have to say. Oh, look,
nothing but net, Dan.
Yeah, but when they did put it back up there, I did get one in there. Look, I'm not going to say I'm the most highly competitive person in that regard, or match fit, but there are many in our community that are. And I think that when you watch the Olympics and see how proud we are of our country, we've got to make sure that we're investing in the future of sport in our area, so our future of Cantabrians or representing New Zealand at whatever they are that our kids have that potential, and so that's what really motivates me about the stadium. But more than that, the stadium is designed to be multi-use, so it's not just about sport. So we can it's enabled for concerts and other. There will be a business awards there in the later part of this year. So the purpose of it is to be multi-use, but. Already I'm being told that the 4 courts that were built are going to be well and truly maximised in terms of its usage, and there's already an expectation that we might start building on, not for the current future, not for the coming years.
Yes.
We've got to get this paid for first.
Yes. Well, that's fair enough too.
But it's great to see that there's that demand already.
Absolutely. And could you possibly comment on the issues of the stadium that's south of the river at the moment? Seem to be going through do we do 30,000? Do we do 25,000? If it goes to 30,000, and I'm sorry, I'm really, really sort of just riffing here. 30,000 people go to a rugby test or a concert. We'd get some sort of overflow on that here in Waimakariri.
Look, I'm reluctant to get into the politics of another city's or partner's area, but no, I'm not checking, Kerry. But just saying. But I would say that I think 25 to 30,000. That does, and the feedback I'm getting is that's the investment that should be looked at. People ask me all the time, has our council been asked about this, or have we not been asked to contribute? No, we haven't. And if that was a matter that was raised, then we would seriously have that conversation with our community. But personally, I would like to see it at 30,000. It seems to make sense, but
Yep.
I'm not appraised of all the information, and there's politics always at play in things. But I have read what everyone else has read in the opinion pieces, and look, if there was a case to go to 30, it seems pretty strong.
It seems to me that 30 is the number to use, but hey, that's just me. Dan Gordon, Mayor of the Waimakariri District.
Compass FM. FM. FM.